So you've cut the floss the length that you want to use off of your bobbin, and you've pulled out the 1 or 2 strands that you're going to stitch with. And that leaves you with this, with an offcut piece of floss. What do you do with that? How do you store that so that it doesn't become a total mess in your whip bag or your whip box? Hi, I'm Ford, the host of the Caterpillar Cross Stitch YouTube channel, and that is one of the most commonly asked questions that I get in the comments of my videos. So today I'm going to be sharing with you some of my favorite ways of storing those offcut pieces of floss so that they don't become waste. So I'm going to just jump right into the topic here. If you'll do me a favor and please subscribe to the channel, and when we're done, like this video and leave me a comment. I really want to hit 100,000 subscribers this year, and it would be amazing if you were one of them. Now this first method will work no matter what kind of floss storage device you use for the most part, whether you're using bobbins or drops, or whether you've got one of these cool floss sorting cards like the Caterpillar Cross Stitch patterns come with. And it's as simple as just hitching the piece of floss to the storage device. So you take both ends of the floss so that you have a bite, B-I-G-H-T, at the other end and 2 ends in one hand, and you stick those 2 ends through the hole on the floss card, and then you stick the ends through that bite. So you're really just hitching it onto the card. This is also how it's done if you're using floss drops, and a lot of floss drops will just have a second little hole where you can keep your offcuts. That's one of the nice things about them. But personally, I travel with my projects a lot, and having all of these strands hanging off of here gets pretty messy. You can see that I've got kind of an ugly tangle going on here on this one already. So that method works for a lot of people, especially if you tend to stitch in the same place or at home. But for me, since I'm traveling, it's not really optimal because of that tangling factor. You can also do the same thing by just hitching your floss to the hole that exists in a floss bobbin. Some people use that to put a ring through to keep all of the floss together, but when I'm working on a project, I keep all of my floss in a box like this one when I'm on the go. So that would just kind of get tangled up in there for me. So I have a slightly different method. Now a lot of people will just hook one end or the other in the slit of the floss bobbin and then wrap it around it and hook it in the slit again. But then that creates a problem when you go to take it back off. It becomes really hard to tell which of those little floss ends are your offcut and which of those are the ones that are still on the bobbin. So I have a method that I use that helps me keep those sorted. The first thing is that when I wrap my floss onto the bobbin, rather than starting and stopping on the slits, what I do is I just feed the starting end of my wrapping in through that hole on top of the floss bobbin and then wrap around it so it holds it in place. So that when I'm done, I only have one end of floss in the slits and I don't have to figure out which is which. And then my method of storing the offcuts capitalizes on that because I want to be able to just look at it and instantly know if there is an offcut on there and which piece of floss is the offcut. So again, I'll take both ends of my piece of floss, so I have ends on one end and a bite at the other, and I'll just hold those ends against my floss. And then I'll make sure that my first couple of wrappings around the bobbin go over that. And then when I get to the end, I'll take that bite and I'll jam that into the slit. So now when I pick this bobbin back up, there's no question this is the end of the floss on the bobbin, and this is the end of my offcut. I don't have to try to figure out which is which. I just grab that loop, pull it, and unwrap it, and then I'm ready to pull another strand and start stitching again. It's that instant visual recognition of which one is the working floss and which one is the bobbin floss that makes it so much easier for me to avoid tangles and messes and confusion. Make sure you don't miss out on any of the upcoming socials or stitch-alongs or events that Caterpillar Cross Stitch is hosting by signing up for our email newsletter. You'll find the link in the description of this video or in the first pinned comment. And when you sign up, you'll also get 10 free PDF cross-stitch patterns worth £60. So make sure you check that out. And also find us on our other social media presences, especially the Facebook group and the Instagram. The stitchers in there are so warm and welcoming, and it's a tremendous resource, whether it's your first project or your 1000th. But it can happen that you get to the end of that strand that you pulled out and you have a pretty big piece of floss. It's still pretty large enough to be saved and usable, and you can just do the same thing. Hold both ends to the bobbin, wrap it around it, and then put the one little loop there. And just put it in a different slot on the bobbin. So if you look at it and you see like 4 loops in one slit and 1 loop in the other, you know that you can grab the 1 loop and that will be the one that's ready to work with. But frequently I'll get to the end of a piece and I'll have a scrap that will be potentially useful, but not really quite big enough to save. So that's why I have a compartment in my floss box for orts, or for scraps of floss. On one of my floss boxes, there's a little label on the lid over the top of it that says pieces of floss too short to keep, just because that amuses me. But then I'll put all of my scraps into that compartment of my floss box. And I make sure to empty that after every project, so that the only colors that are in there are the ones that are in the project I'm working on right now. So if I need a little scrap of floss that I can use to just do 1 or 2 stitches, or one that I missed later, and I don't want to have to use a whole piece from my bobbin, I can just pull out that little rat's nest of orts, and I can find a piece of the color that I'm using, and like, that piece right there, that's big enough to do that 1 stitch that I missed in the middle of that area, and so that can save me from having to waste a bigger piece of floss. So if it's too short to go back onto the bobbin, it goes into my little ort compartment, and then when I'm done with a particular project, I throw all of those orts, well, I don't throw them away. I save them in a different box to use to stuff little plushes and stuff with later, but that way I don't have to worry about having colors that aren't in my project in my ort compartment. So that is a brief overview of my favorite ways of storing those offcut pieces of floss so that they can be useful later and not wind up as scrap. What about you? Do you have a different technique that you use? Share it in the comments and maybe other viewers can benefit from your expertise. But that is all I have for you this week, so I do want to thank you so much for watching. For Caterpillar Cross Stitch, my name is Ford, and I will see you next week.